Alright, what's going on? So this is part 3 of my personal gear segment, and we're going to go over helmets and associated headgear. First up, this is the helmet I most commonly use, my fake airframe. Two-piece shell design, night vision mount up front, contour camera on top, patches in the back, no rails, and a mil-spec harness. And I'll go into detail, a little bit more detail. So we'll go front to back. So this is the fake Voss shroud night vision mount. It works pretty good with my Rhino, but had to shave down some of the sides because if you don't shave down the sides and the Rhino mount won't click in, get stuck. You'll also see that I have only 2 out of 3 mounting screws because the third one does not fit in the hole. Now I could take a drill and just, bore it out and then put the screw in, but I'm real lazy. And it fits, or it stays on pretty good with just these 2 screws. Doesn't slide, wobble. Screws have never tried to come undone. It's a pretty solid. It's a pretty solid mount, as is with those 2 screws. You'll notice on the sides I took off the fake rails because I don't use them. So why do I need them on there for? All it does is add side profile. A little bit more space for the side of my helmet to get shot. On the top, this is how I mount my contour camera. I mount it directly on the top because it gets even coverage of my left-handed shots and my right-handed shots. If I had the camera mounted on the side, because I'm left-handed, so let's say point of view, if I had the camera mounted on the left side, yeah, you would get a really good view of all my left-handed shots, but if I shot around a corner right-handed with my pistol, you wouldn't see squat except a corner of a wall. Yeah, this does add some profile to the top of the helmet, but more often than not I take cover along vertical walls. So having the camera mounted on the side, that adds a giant bulk of profile. So you see there, just imagine all that bulk up on the side of the helmet. More space to get hit. It also puts the camera a little bit more at risk. Does it put it at risk being on top? Yeah, sure, but I don't take horizontal coverage that much. Moving to the back, we have patches. Now, what's unique about the airframe helmet is the 2-piece shell design, which is supposed to provide better ventilation. Do I notice it? No, because I wear a bandana underneath my helmet to catch the sweat from dripping in my eyes. Inside the helmet, like I said, mil-spec head harness, and I'll let you know why when I show you my next helmet, but we have paddings. There's nothing remarkable about the pads that came with the helmet. They're just soft, squishy foam. Overall, in general, this is a pretty light helmet. And it's probably due to the cheap plastic they used to make it, but hey, blocks of BB's pretty damn good. All I can say about the arrangement of the pads is everybody's head shape is unique. You got bumps, dents, whatever the hell you got in there, but it also depends on what you wear underneath the helmet. So if you wear an over-the-head headset or over-the-head band headset, you're going to want to keep that middle space clear. Otherwise, if you got a pad putting pressure on it, it's just going to put more pressure on the band, put more pressure on your head. So, the only thing I can say is don't rely on the stock arrangement of the pads that came with the helmet. Adjust them, move them around so it suits your individual brain, skull, noggin. But that's it for this one. This helmet, I don't run it as much during the day. I run it more at night, but this is a CVC 132 Bravo ballistic rated helmet. Why do I have a ballistic rated helmet? Because I can. Do I use it that much for airsoft? Not so much anymore, because it's airsoft. I don't need a ballistic helmet to protect my head. That's what the cheap plastic airframe is for. This helmet I use more for night games, when I'm running night vision. Just real quick. No rails, don't need no rails. Surefire light, yeah, that's kind of helpful. Mainly because it has an IR blinker. It's good for signaling to other people on my team that are using night vision as to where I'm at. Sometimes we use these or IR chem lights or just IR IR clicky lights to signal to each other where we are. And it does work, using IR lights to signal to each other. Back of the helmet, Velcro. Top of the helmet, Velcro. Front of the helmet, that's a little different. Front of the helmet, I have a Rhino bracket that's directly mounted into the helmet, one screw. I also have these bungee cords. The bungee cords, if you don't know, people that know what they're for, or people that have used night vision know what they're for. People that don't know, just a tidbit. Helmets come with bungee cords so that when you're using night vision with the Rhino mount is not stable. It's really crappy. So when you've got the bracket to the mount to the nods it's really loose. It's very unstable. So what the bungee cords do is you would attach them to the night vision in order to stabilize them, so it's not so shaky. Yeah, that's it for this. Inside, this is the fake harness that I took from the airframe and put it on this helmet. Yeah, I know, eyes roll up into back of head, whatever. Legit helmet, fake harness. Hey, it's working for now. When this harness breaks, and I did say when this harness breaks, I have no illusions about that, then I'll probably upgrade to a better legit harness that probably won't break. Nothing remarkable about these pads. These are a bit more firm than the pads that come with the airframe, so it provides more cushion. It's softer because this helmet is heavier. But again, like the airframe, pad arrangement is individual to your skull. Now, the other reason why I just use this helmet for night games is because the helmet itself is heavier, so it balances more with the front heavy weight of the night vision. I'm not going to put my night vision up here. Next up, we'll do a face protection and ear protection, because that's really, really important. I'm not joking, it is. So for ear protection, I use behind the head MSA Sordens. When I say behind the head, it's because the band and the wiring go behind the head and this strap goes over the head. If you're wondering why I use real MSA Sordens, 1, it doubles up when I go to the range. 2, if you've ever been shot in the ear before by an AEG, you know it really, really, really hurts. And it sucks. Because I've been shot in the ear before and bled out from the ear. Not a lot of blood, but it hurt like hell. Underneath the helmets, I just have a bandana. Again, I wear the bandana so it absorbs the sweat so it doesn't drip into my eyes. It's also a little bit of extra cushion underneath the helmet. Face protection, eye protection, super important. For eye protection, I wear ESS Ice glasses that I've had for years. I can't count the amount of times I've been shot in the eyes wearing these glasses, but no cracks, no breaks, no chipping, no nothing. All these scratches are because I take really poor care of these glasses. Lower face protection, very recognizable piece of gear. A lot of people run them. Lower half metal mesh mask. And this thing does wonders for protecting your lower face, your teeth. You'll notice there's a zip tie here. It's because the way I run these glasses to the lower mesh mask, I don't like having any gap right here. Because, you have that magic spot, a BB will hit it. And then you'll be protecting all this area in your face, but then you'll get shot right there, or right there, just in that little gap. But just so you have a closer view of how I attach these two together, you got a zip tie holding the lenses down to the mask so they don't spread apart. And the frames, I run through that elastic loop right here. Same on the other side. If you're wondering how I got this zip tie through the metal mesh mask, it's not a hard concept. You just take a small flathead and you pry the mesh apart until you have a space wide enough to get that zip tie through. Alright, that's it for my headgear. Later.